My congratulations to Professors Haas and Korngold. Now we come to one of the highlights of our commencement ceremony, our student addresses. Each year, members of the graduating class submit applications to be given the honor of addressing their classmates and guests. I'm happy to introduce this year's committee choices. First, for the evening division, Romaine. Romaine works full-time in bank regulatory law for the legal team at the Clearinghouse Association. Riccardi has focused his law studies on financial services while also completing coursework at the New York Law School Institute for Information Law and Policy. He is a member of the New York City Bar Association, where he sits on the Diversity Pipeline Initiatives Committee. Rick?
Greetings. I'm very honored to have the opportunity to address you today. I would like to start with a quote that I think perfectly captures the essence of why we are here. The unexamined life is not worth living. These words from Socrates have been permanently etched into my mind since Professor Ken Caffrey spoke them on my first day of writing class as an 18-year-old NYU freshman. Professor Caffrey, may he rest in peace, was challenging this group of teenagers before him to create the most meaningful college experience possible. He was letting us know that we didn't have to accept the world as it was given to us. That moment in time added fuel to the burning fire I had inside me to become more than I was at that moment. Now the question becomes, how did I get here from that moment in the classroom with Professor Caffrey? Some of us here are graduating to become the first lawyers in our respective families. I'm the first in my family to graduate from an American university, and now will be the first lawyer. At 26 years old, I'm one of the youngest graduating evening students, and the same age as my father was when he worked his way from farm life in the countryside of Haiti to the US. Although already a budding engineer, he wanted more. My father decided the language, education, and cultural barriers would not dissuade him from chasing the American dream. My mother also was chasing the American dream when she serendipitously met my dad in New York in the 1980s. Although they didn't have anything when they arrived, they remained determined to unlock every opportunity they came here to find. It was this determination that led my parents to send me to Catholic school as a child, even though they could not afford it. They wanted to make sure their children received this education, and each resolved to work multiple jobs, take out loans, and max out credit cards to give us a chance to unlock the American dream. Watching my parents work night and day to provide the best education for me inspired me to excel. I felt as if getting good grades was the only way to equitably repay them. Fortunately, I was awarded a full scholarship to NYU, one of the best universities in the country. However, my education still came at a cost. The scholarship didn't cover books or any other expenses, and since my parents couldn't really afford to support me, I had 3 jobs when I was in college just to help me afford New York City. I worked at the gym a couple days a week, I picked up a job at the library between classes, and even tutored on the weekends. At the age of 22, after working hard to put myself through college, I wanted to pursue a law degree, but I knew I needed to support myself. New York Law School's exceptional and world-class evening program offered me the latitude to do both if I was willing to work hard enough. I specifically chose the evening program at NYLS because it offered me the opportunity to achieve excellence in one of the most respected professions in the United States. I share my story because many others in the evening program, as well as some in the day division, are similarly situated. Our law school journey includes jobs, spouses, and children. However, we all chose this path because we wanted more and we wanted to help others. I look around at my fellow evening students every day in awe. I'm in awe because of the pure determination it took for each and every one of you to make this dream become a reality. It was truly an honor to attend class every day with colleagues who, although already weary from working day jobs, came to class driven by their passions and dreams. It was an honor to attend class with colleagues who strove to be the best and brightest no matter how tired they were or the severe limitations on their time. When I think about graduation, the first thought that enters my mind is finally. This was a journey of sacrifice and perseverance, a journey that the New York Times told us would be a waste of our time. However, the unexamined life is not worth living. And upon examination, I'm glad to tell you that the New York Times was wrong. Living through this amazing educational experience has opened up limitless possibilities to us, and I can assure you that this was no waste of time. It is that spirit of defiance and refusal to accept things as they are presented that led to the founding of NYLS and is what a lawyer's job requires. It is the hunger for more that led to Carnegie Hall being built and millions of immigrants deciding that they would risk it all to come through Ellis Island and get their piece of the American dream. The most important words I can say to everyone today, in the spirit of excellence, education, and living the examined life throughout this journey, are thank you. To my family, thank you for being there to support me through the good times and the bad. I know there were many times where I felt like giving up, but you pushed me to keep going. To my colleagues, thank you for being there to keep me striving for excellence and for kind words and smiles, even when we haven't had our coffee. Lastly, to our NYLS family, the full-time and adjunct professors and staff, thank you for conferring the benefit of your wisdom upon us. It is because of you who graciously give us your nights and weekends that all evening students are able to be here today. It is because of your tireless work that we can leave NYLS confident in our abilities and ready to tackle our next challenge. Speaking of that next challenge, it's almost bittersweet to celebrate graduation today and start studying for the bar exam tomorrow. To use a football analogy, we're at this year's Super Bowl. Just when we've reached the end of the game, we find ourselves at the goal line with victory only a short distance in front of us. There's no doubt in my mind that we know what to do. We will put our heads down, we will take the ball, and we will run it into the end zone. We will then move forward with unyielding passion for success and become the lawyers, policymakers, and entrepreneurs that we set out to be when we started. Once again, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Rick. That was terrific. Our next speaker is Michael A. Forcetti, an active student representative. Michael is a student in our day division and has served as a student ambassador, a member of the Moot Court Association, and one of the Moot Court's executive editors during his 3L year. Michael developed legal knowledge through work experiences with the law offices of David DiStefano and the Board of Elections of the City of New York, and by externing for one of our esteemed alumni, Justice Arthur Schack of the Kings County Supreme Court civil term. After graduation, Michael will join the New York City Law Department as Assistant Corporation Counsel. Michael?
Good evening, family, friends, faculty, administration, members of the Board of Trustees, and most importantly, members of the class of 2015. Now, as a student ambassador for the Office of Admissions, I've told countless prospective and admitted students that New York Law School is like a family. And a lot of them think I'm joking. And it's only after they've spoken with more students that they realize that this isn't a joke. My mom, dad, grandparents, sister, aunts, and uncles, they're my family. And they provided me endless support throughout my time at law school. But also, the Office of Admissions is my family. The Moot Court Association is my family. And the New York Law School graduating class of 2015 is my family. Now, I can say all of that with great confidence. In the past few days alone, we've seen our excitement when introducing each other to our parents, grandparents, and siblings. We wanted our first family, the family that helped us shape us into the people that we are today, to meet our law school family, the people that went through this journey with us. They met the people that we've laughed and cried with, the people that it feels like we've known our entire lives. In those moments, it became clear that the past few years wouldn't be the same without each other. Standing here today, looking at all of you and all of our supporters in this room, I've never been more convinced that we are one family. And our law school family started with one word: admitted. That's right, admitted. Everyone saw that one word, and they knew that they were admitted to New York Law School. I was ecstatic. I called my parents. I texted my friends. I wrote an obnoxiously ecstatic Facebook message. It was bad. I couldn't have been happier. I wanted to share this moment with the important people in my life. The world made sense. But let's face it, though, nothing prepares us for the experiences of first year. During our 1L year, we were all walking around in a daze, barely able to remember our names. We were dealing with material we didn't fully understand. What seemed like a harmless act was now a tort, and what seemed like a misunderstanding became a material breach to a bilateral contract. Time magically sped up when we went into the library. Friends and family that we once spoke with regularly now felt like distant acquaintances because, well, we had forgotten how to have a normal conversation. Nothing made sense anymore, and it seemed that way for seemingly an eternity. For me, that wasn't even the biggest challenge of 1L year. I realized that there were a lot of challenges in figuring out the law school life. And I realized halfway through my first semester that I left a small community I grew up in, lifelong friends, and the security of my Pennsylvania family. I traded it all for a city I knew nothing about and people that I'd never met. So what do you do when you feel like a stranger in a strange land? To whom do you turn? How do you find a way forward that makes sense? But now, even when things seem pretty bleak, our first families were there to provide words of support despite any geographical distance between us. They reminded us that we could succeed. In moments of doubt, their support gave us the confidence and courage to face our challenges. And we soon began to see the strength of New York Law School's community. Upper-level students would give us study tips and offer moral support. The faculty, staff, and administration went to endless lengths to make themselves available and ensure that we had the tools needed to succeed. Alumni offered helpful advice on law school and beginning our legal careers. Even our own dean and president walked the halls to make sure that we were succeeding, to offer us helpful advice, and even listen to us when we had an idea on how to make New York Law School even better. What we found was that the people we turned to most often were each other. These strangers that we'd been put in a room with were the very people we wanted to talk to. We bonded through spending countless hours together, whether it be trying to figure out what a case said or laughing at how bizarre our lives had just become. As odd as it may sound, The challenges of first year set us down the road to becoming a family. And our sense of family only grew during second and third years. We found a place on campus where we felt we belonged, a place we could call home. For me, it was the Moot Court Association. For others, it was Law Review, SBA, LALSA, BALSA. The list goes on. When we found that place, we met new people, and our law school family only became stronger. And every challenge we faced only brought us closer together. And for every tough moment, there was a moment of celebration. For every final exam session, there was a barrister's ball. For all the hours in the library, there were all the happy hours. For every for sale competition, there was a Wagner ball. For every few moments of confusion, there was a moment of clarity. The people we called to vent were the same people that we called to celebrate with. So in these last few moments of our law school career, let's appreciate how far we've come and thank the people that helped us get there. Thank you to the faculty, staff, and administration. Thank you, law school family. And thank you to the First family for your endless support and help of making us who we are today. Class of 2015, take every experience and pay the good fortune forward. Use what we've been through to make the world a better and more just place. Help empower others, build communities, and make the New York Law School family even stronger. Though we now go our separate ways and take our own paths, our memories and experiences will last forever, and New York Law School will always be our home. The challenges we've faced, the lifelong friendships we've made, and the personal growth we've experienced will fuel us to meet the challenges up ahead. And remember that for every tough moment ahead, there's a moment of celebration waiting around the corner. Class of 2015, never forget your experiences. Never forget your first and law school families. But most importantly, congratulations on all that we have achieved and all that we will achieve. Thank you.